America is still the world's sole superpower. However, with the sole superpower consistently looking inwards to deal with domestic issues, many nations and regional blocs have used this vacuum to exert themselves in their individual spheres of influence. Uprisings due to claims of systematic anti-black racism, the descendants of Africans whose ancestry goes back to the plantations that created the wealth of the nation, now have made it clear that they want their fair share of that wealth, and they've began going outside of the constraints of the system in order to get this done. Moreover, they're demanding reparations and tangibles from the electoral process, which they claim have largely ignored them through many decades of political and economic benign neglect. Moreover, America is still in the throes of the pandemic, which has already cost America an estimated $16 trillion over the next 10 years without adjusting for inflation, or $7.9 trillion in real economic output. The way of life in America, as with many other places in the world, will permanently be altered. Many have been rendered unemployed, even more have been rendered homeless, and infection rates are still surging. To top all of this off, America is being ran by one of the most politically polarizing presidents in recent history. A recent poll shows that 65% of those polled distrust the president's handling of the pandemic. However, a large majority are still in support of the president. With the world's superpower currently handling such staunch domestic issues, many emerging nations have used this vacuum to project economically, politically, and militarily within their spheres of influence. Such emerging regional and continental superpowers include Russia in Eastern Europe, China in the South Chinese Sea, Turkey in the Middle East, and Nigeria in West Africa. Of the regional and continental superpowers, Nigeria has been predicted to become one of this decade's continental superpowers. I'm your host, Ebube Okoli. Welcome to Up Close and Center. In this episode of Up Close and Center, we will explore the predicted rise of Nigeria from a strong regional player into an African continental superpower. As always, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon so that you will be alerted when new content becomes available. Furthermore, if you have any additional analysis on the topic, please feel free to use the comment section. Nigeria is a country that surprisingly beat the odds. Insurgency in the northeast, militancy in the creeks of the delta, civil unrest in the east, and capital mismanagement at the center. However, Nigeria has a great deal of metrics in its favor. A note to remember, a global superpower is a nation that can project its power on any nation on the planet. Likewise, a continental superpower is a nation that can project economically, militarily, and politically throughout the continent. As such, Nigeria stands to be Africa's preeminent power. Economically, Nigeria is Africa's largest economy. As Africa's largest economy, Nigeria is set to grow immensely over the next few decades. By 2050, Nigeria is expected to be an almost $5 trillion economy. By that time, Nigeria's economy will be larger than Australia, Egypt, Canada, the Philippines, Colombia, Malaysia, Argentina, Spain, Italy, Poland, and the Netherlands. In regards to regional economic cooperation and development, Nigeria played a major role in crafting ECOWAS, or the Economic Community of West African States, to facilitate regional integration, regional trade, and interregional investments. This group consists of 15 West African member states. Militarily, Nigeria is credited with having one of Africa's strongest militaries. The Nigerian military has intervened on several occasions to stabilize the West African sub-region. Such interventions include spearheading the Economic Community of West African States Ceasefire Monitoring Group, or ECOMOG. In the 90s, Nigeria sent peacekeeping forces as part of ECOMOG into Liberia and Sierra Leone when instability hit those nations. Nigeria's military deployments are not just bound to the African continent. The Nigerian military has been deployed to the former Yugoslavia, Angola, Rwanda, Somalia, Darfur, Mali, India, Pakistan, East Timor, Iran, Iraq, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Lebanon. Politically, Nigeria, as the most populous country in Africa, has made itself into a cultural center, an economic giant, and West Africa benefits greatly from Nigeria's stabilizing presence. Even though Nigeria, similar to many African nations, has its own set of problems, Nigeria's potentials far outweigh any potential hindrances to Nigeria becoming this century's continental superpower. Continental power is nothing new to Nigeria. Over 1,000 years ago, Nigeria had some of the richest, most developed cities and empires in the world. In the next 30 years, Nigeria will be, by population, larger than the United States, and by the end of the century, it'll be the third largest nation in the world behind India and China. Nigeria has the wealth, as almost $100 million worth of oil is daily extracted from the ground. Nigeria's economic success could eventually mirror China's. In many ways, Nigeria resembles the China of 45 years ago. Since China's economic miracle, this planet has witnessed several other East Asian economic miracles. Many are expecting this miracle to soon spill over into the African continent. In the early 70s, China was among one of the world's poorest and least developed nations, with a GDP per capita of only about $156 in 1978. Things began to turn around in the late 70s when China deregulated their economy. Deregulation caused the Chinese economy to quadruple in a very short time. Today, China's per capita income is just over $10,000. This economic miracle was able to pull 850 million Chinese citizens out of poverty. Many expect the same from Nigeria. Similar to India and China, Nigeria's secret weapon lies in its massive size. Nigeria has more people than the UK, France, and Spain combined. 1 out of every 7 black people in the world is a Nigerian. Large nations like Nigeria have a decided advantage over smaller nations, both economically and in their ability to attract investors. Nigeria's metrics today are surprisingly close to where China's were before their economic reform. In 1978, China's poverty rate was 64.6%. This number is almost identical to Nigeria's poverty rate today. Furthermore, adult literacy in China was only around 68% compared to Nigeria's 62%. Today, China's poverty rate is almost non-existent, and its literacy rate is just over 98%. A note to remember is that China's large domestic market, and not its usefulness as a source for cheap goods, is what initially attracted foreign investment in the 1980s. Accordingly, Nigeria has been termed the last major open market on the planet, just like China was in the late 70s or India in the mid-90s. Nigeria's economic policies have reportedly stifled innovation, investment, utilization, and efficiency. It's been alleged that the government provides too much control but not enough support, such as infrastructure and basic administrative services. It's been predicted that if Nigeria removes the internal barriers to growth, its economy could likewise explode, and even more rapidly than both China and India. Of course, such deregulation and restructuring won't be easy. However, such is necessary to properly reposition Nigeria and her economy in order to accommodate and allow for Nigeria to truly take its position as the African continental superpower. This concludes our broadcast of Up Close and Center. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon so that you will be alerted when new content becomes available. Also, if you have additional analysis on this topic, please feel free to use the comment section. Thank you for your time and your commitment to the continent.